Anyway, we got some bad news last week. Dune Part 2 has been pushed back to 2024. But there's some good stuff. Denis Villeneuve has been doing interviews lately. He's been talking about Dune Messiah, which is the second book in the Dune franchise, but it's nowhere near as big as the first book. And have you just fired again?
No, I'm laughing at the way, because you always say, like, you don't go there, you go they is. So I know it's not him saying that.
That's what he said?
He didn't say they, he's a fucking writer.
I don't know.
As for context in the audience, Callum, for some reason, I do it sometimes, you know.
It's just Yorkshire, I think.
I think it's just
Yeah,
They
it definitely is a Yorkshire thing.
probably.
Anyway, these words on paper. That's what he said. He has started writing it. Well, not
Like
properly.
when you say, it's like when you say Thor, you go Thor.
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 Listen, just because I'm a little Yorkshire pudding. But he started writing it before the strike, I think. He's done a draft of the third film, and he says it is dependent on obviously how well the second one does. Now, I do believe the second film is going to do well, because the first one did well, considering it was day and date release.
Can I ask a question? Were they a bit skeptical on this dude directing it because of Blade Runner? Is that why why they didn't let him shoot back to back?
No, they didn't let him shoot back to back because of the financial risk of it, but they should have just let him
Yeah,
do
but
it.
because of what happened with Blade Runner.
I think so, yeah.
Because that movie flopped, didn't it?
It did.
It was good. It was good. I love that
Yeah.
film, but it flopped.
So, if this man's already got a plan to do a third film, I want to see it. I know the third book is very weird. I won't spoil it, but it goes into, like, terraforming and stuff like that, and, like, psychedelic shit, so... Yeah. But if Denis Villeneuve's going to do it, then I am completely up for a Dune Part 3, or Dune Messiah, as they'll probably call it. So, what do you think the chances of a Dune Part 3 getting made are?
I mean, if the movie does well, then yeah. I mean, people want to see more of it. You know, we don't have anything Star Wars-y, sci-fi-y coming out other than that Rebel Moon. But this is like big and theatrical. This is like a masterpiece. You know, it's like a. I know Dune is older. You know, is not older, but you know what I mean. It is older than Star Wars, and
By a
obviously
lot,
Star
yeah.
Wars took it by a
Yeah.
lot, which you know, and it did take a lot of inspiration. Star Wars took a lot of inspiration from Dune, but right now, man, we've got nothing sci-fi in the cinemas that much. We've got that creator coming out, but that seems like a more of a futuristic-esque Terminator, you know, but it's like Terminator Salvation kind of thing. It kind of feels like a District 9 or something like that, along the lines of that. But we haven't got anything that's big and cinematic and, you know, makes you want to go to cinema and see it in IMAX. Sci-fi kind of thing. There's nothing really in the cinema that's there at the moment. We've got plenty of superhero films. We've got plenty of historical films. Obviously, I'm going to say Barbie then, Oppenheimer. And then you got Barbie, which was like a really nice treat. You know, it was just a kind of like, you know, it was pretty good. And that was just a bit more of a silly comedy kind of film, but it was still good. That's not to say it wasn't good, but it was more of a comedy. So, probably, most likely, yeah. I think we will. I think
do you think...
he's gonna plea it to them. He said, "Look at Dune 1. It did better than you thought. We're doing Dune 2. It's probably gonna do even better." You know?
Do you think he could pitch it as sort of... Because the first one was nominated for a lot of awards. I'm pretty sure the second one's going to be nominated for a lot of awards as well. Do you think he could pitch it as more as maybe not a financial film, but more of like, this will get you more Oscars on your mantles? Because we know studios like that as well.
They do, but
I know they like money
money
more.
money
Yeah,
talks. Yeah, money talks. I think maybe if it's like, look, the best way you can pitch it is like this is like what they did with the Harry Potter movies, where we've got quite a few multiple films, and then when you do your final sort of set of
yeah.
movies, you're gonna make a lot of money. And it's same with the MCU. It built up. Some of them dudded, some of them did really well, and then you got obviously Infinity War and Endgame, which did the best. So it's a build up. If they're willing, if these if the studio's willing to take a bit of a not a risk, it's not really, it is a risk, but it's not that much of a risk, and just take their time with it and don't rush it. They've got this guy here who's willing to see it through to the end. You know,
Probably one of the greatest directors working today. A lot of
exactly.
people
He's
would
willing
say
to
he is.
see exactly. He's willing to see this to the end, and with that, they've got like a good projection of like, all right, when he does the final film, it's gonna be like, ooh, he's gonna make quite a bit. So
I say
yeah,
just let him do it. I say just let him do it, no matter the financial outcome of Doom Part 2, which I do think will be good. But, yeah, no, let him do it. 100%.
Dune 2 will do good.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think he deserves it as well.
Absolutely.
I think he might even like sell his soul a little bit and go, look, let me do Dune 3, and then I'll let you bring some scripts to me and I'll pick one to do. Don't think he would though. I know he likes to write his own stuff, but yeah. But anyway,